Hey, welcome to the week 9 video, everybody. So let's get right into it.
JB, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room? Well, I didn't want to bring it up, John, but Ezekiel Elliott is finally suspended like 2 weeks too soon, though, because we'd like to push him back into, the playoffs. But, finally, unlike Eric, I was able to survive him.
No, JB, the other elephant.
Not the other elephant? My team is kaput. Uh, Sean Watson tears his ACL. Quick story. Doesn't have anything to do with this league, but just to show you fantasy gods. Uh, at my work, a guy had Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson, and that day, the guy traded Russell Wilson away, thinking, "Oh, I got Deshaun Watson, I'm good." And then 30 minutes later, Deshaun Watson tears his ACL. So you went from having two top five quarterbacks to zero QBs in a matter of 30 minutes. That's just straight bad fantasy right there. Like that's when you're dealt with that. What do you do? That's out of your control. You can't. Uh, you can't beat that, right? Yeah, it's just coming at you a million miles
Come
an hour.
on, JB, you know what elephant.
Um, I guess. I mean, yeah, Kara, you did win a game, Kara. Um, yeah, that's good for you. Good for you. You finally won a game. You're 1-7. You're still out of the playoffs. Sam J, that was a huge loss for you. That should have been a gimme win. You're now on the cusp of losing the playoffs there.
Get to the elephant I'm talking about.
No, that's not it. Okay, well, I guess the other elephant, uh, Andy. Andy's 4-4. Andy's 500 this late in the season. I don't think I've seen that. Um, and unfortunately, 10th place because of points, but you're only one game out of legitimately being in the playoffs. So yeah, Andy's fantasy team is a elephant in the room.
Still not the right elephant, JB.
There's still more elephants. I don't know if you've seen this room, but there's not a lot of elephants that can fit into this room. But I guess uh, two two huge victories have convoluted this league into a smorgasbord of what the F's. My victory over John, Eric's victory over Sam B has basically essentially put everybody at 5-3 and 4-4, with the exception of Sam J and Kara. So 10 people are within a game of the playoffs. It is a nightmare of a mess. It, Playing the right lineup no longer means playing the lineup to get the win. It's playing the right people to get the points, right? You could still lose, but leaving 5 points on the bench is huge. You could win, and leaving 3 points on the bench is even bigger. So now it's trying to find that optimal lineup that just gets you the most points. Because right now, the next couple of games, I'll explain a couple of people. There's 3 people, but the next couple of games are not must wins in the essence of must score more points. 150, losing 150 to 151 might not be the worst thing as long as you're scoring 150 and everybody else is only scoring like 110. Those 40 points could come back later on when it is must win time where you get those victories. So right now, yeah, everybody being 5-3, 4-4, nothing's
Get to the elephant they want to know about, JB.
fine, fine, fine. I get it, I get it, I get it. What happened last week? What happened to the video? So, I like to put music in it. I like to put things. Usually, what ends up happening is I get a notification that any views I get, the money that I would earn goes to the artist. And I'm like, whatever. I think I made 13 cents. So somewhere, somebody's getting a check for 3 cents, right? And I would like to just to be like my name on it. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, so there you go. Apparently, I made Warner Brothers mad. I used something in it that did not go well with them. So in this video, you'll notice, no, the music is just generic iTunes, like iMovie stuff. If it gets banned, I will be peeved. But there's the thing. Um, so yeah, there it all is. There's all the elephants in the room. So let's clear these elephants out. Let's get to the Week 8 review. People going down, the big names. Uh, it's always a good time too to go back and maybe relook at the first 3 rounds of the draft and see where, who you drafted, where they're now currently ranked 8 weeks later, with the season being 2/3 done, and then kind of you can see around who you missed or if you hit the home run. There's definitely some of that you'll see. Who's overvalued, who's undervalued, and then you can kind of see a correlation of where you are compared to where you've been. Um, so again, I'm not gonna talk. Figure it's been a lot easier. Uh, just gonna go ahead and you can pause it, take a look at the numbers and stuff. Uh, some things to point out is that in parentheses I put IR. If they went on IR, the number is what week they went on IR. So what week they went out in. So you can see. So like, for example, David Johnson, IR 1, week 1. So when you see the number, which I believe is RB 90, you can kind of take into effect of like you only had one game, half, not even, So I figured next week we start really focusing on the playoffs. We only really have, one team not in it. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but uh, here we go. Let's look at the first 3 rounds of the draft. Something I know Eric is always into. So this is for you, Eric. So now we are going to take a look at week 9. Um, you know, I think there's only must wins for 3 teams. And I'm going to lay it out why. 1, Sam J. Uh, you're 2-6. You lose one more and effectively you're out of the playoffs like Kara. So, from here on out, every game for you is a must win. 2, Andy. And bear with me, I'm not trying to pick on you, guy, but your points are not. You're the last of the 4 and 4s in points, and you'd be the last of the 5 and 3s in points. So if the 10 of us were all the same record, you're 10th still, right? So in essence, unless you start putting up 175 every week, which that'll help, um, your path is winning 3 more games. I don't think you have the comfort of waiting around for others to lose and you creep up on them on points like everybody else does. And 3 is myself. Deshaun Watson going down. Deshaun was my team. Deshaun was one of the grabs of the waivers. That was the golden ticket to at least go into the playoffs. Not saying I'm championship bound, but at least I was 0-2 without Deshaun, and I was 5-1 with Deshaun. So obviously, Deshaun was the key to my victories. Now, you know, to me, I've got to win now to try to make that up. So I'm gonna put myself. Everybody else is looking good, but I think for me it's must win mode now. Um, so here it is. Here is the Week 9 preview. Well, there you go. Bills and Jets are actually not a really good game like we all figured it would be. Somehow the Jets are blowing the Bills out of the water. It's very Bills-like. You're 5-2. You're in the hunt for the division. You're in the hunt for the playoffs for the first time since 1999. Like when we were in high school, the Bills were in the playoffs. Like, really think about that for a minute. Um, and then they're going to lose to the 3 and 4 Jets. That's a billion way to do it. So there we go. Where do we go from here? Post Deshaun Watson, post Ezekiel Elliott. It could get really interesting. Could be really good. It's going to be an interesting next 5 games in the home stretch here. So till then, I'm trying just to get to the playoffs. Just trying to get to 8th place at this point. But nonetheless, I'll see you on the Fantasy Gridiron.